Brothers, this is Dr. Phil Chavez. I'm especially humbled every time I come to this Medal of Honor memorial, and also here I find great peace. Brothers, right now I want to recognize Desmond T Doss. His story is amazing. He served as an Army medic and refused to carry a weapon. And he became the first man in American history to receive the Congressional Medal of Honor without firing a shot. His story is dramatized in the Oscar-winning film Hacksaw Ridge by Mel Gibson. His heroism was specially proven at the Battle of Okinawa. Now, Doss grew up in Lynchburg, Virginia, and was a Seventh-day Adventist, and so he didn't believe in violence and chose not to bear arms. His beliefs and his job as a defense industry worker provided him a draft exemption, but he waived this privilege to serve his country, and he enlisted in the Army Medical Corps as a non-combatant. Now, because of his conscientious objector status at boot camp, he was threatened and harassed, even abused while he prayed. Now, in late April 1945, 26-year-old Doss and his battalion were called to help fight near the Irasomura, Okinawa, which was one of the biggest campaigns in the Pacific. Now, with cargo nets, Doss's battalion had to climb a treacherous 400-foot-high jagged cliff named Hacksaw Ridge to get to a final plateau, and waiting for them were thousands of heavily armed Japanese soldiers. Now, during the month-long campaign, Doss treated several injured men, dressing their wounds right in front of the enemy and dragging them safely back to camp. Now, about a week into the fight, Doss was the only medic available to advance with the rest of the men. The Japanese at that point concentrated massive artillery upon them. The assault left many dead and injured. The remaining Americans were driven back to the escarpment except for Doss. He remained on the hill alone, and for several hours he treated the injured there that he could find one by one and dragged them to the edge of cliff and lowered them to safely in a rope sling, again hiding from the Japanese. And after each successful drop, he reportedly said, "Dear God, let me just get one more man." By nightfall, he himself had rescued 75 soldiers. Now, Doss was seriously wounded in the leg by a grenade, and he treated himself. Walking back to an aid station, Doss was hit by a sniper, shattering his arm. He managed to make a splint out of a rifle stock and eventually made it to safety. In October 1945, Doss was brought back to the United States, and the bullet was removed from his shattered arm. After surgery, he was taken immediately to Washington, D.C., where President Harry Truman placed the Medal of Honor around his neck. Doss also received a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. Though Doss fought on the front lines without being armed, Desmond carried the most powerful weapon of all, his simple prayer. Brothers, God be with you.